Hi lovelies, you're welcome back to my space. It's a girl Glory again.
Join me as I soak my corn, guinea corn, and millet.
I've never liked to buy pap from outside, especially for my babies. I prefer to go through the process and the stress to get freshly made pap for my kids, rather than the ones that have very offensive smelling odor and the ones I don't even know the water that was used in soaking and in processing it. So join me today and let me take you through on how I do my. It is not as difficult as you think. I wouldn't even want to bore you with this video at all. So firstly, I'm washing my millet. So this time around, I was so lucky to get clean millet, corn, and guinea corn, unlike the rest that I have soaked in time when past. Going to buy these things, please look out for the one that is extremely very clean. Like it is not hidden. It's always there. You can see it. When you see dirty ones, you see how dusty they look, how dark they look in the eyes. But the ones that are clean are just there on their own, plain, and their color is sharp and looking bright. So you go for them. Especially when you don't have a running water in your apartment, you might find this difficult when you go for the dirty ones, when you just do not look out and buy anyone. It's going to give you a hell of stress and it is going to eat much more water for you to start washing it clean and so I try and wash each of them at least 4 times in a row and making sure that there is no sand under it. Like the millet, it always have this tiny sand, sharp sand under it. The same thing with the guinea except corn. For the corn, which comes with big large looking stones and tiny stones under it, which you can see at the process of washing it. You can pick them one after the other. So just watch closely, you see how I'm washing my. There's no big deal at all. In case you're finding it difficult or you're thinking of the process you need to go through to do these things, there's no big process at all. Right, for the guinea corn, I don't know why it has this purple, or should I call it a brown color at first. So I like to wash and sieve those colors off, and those tiny chaps that is always on top of it, I sieve them all out. I run water through it till the water is thoroughly very clean, and then I use my sieve to scoop out the same thing I did with my millet. So I like to scoop out with sieve to make sure that I get that tiny sand that is always under it. But this guinea corn, this particular one, had no sand at all, just a little to show at least this is something that was harvested from the ground, definitely. So, but if you needed to see the ones I buy before, it seems like there is a heap of sand that was poured on inside them. Unlike this one, like this time around, I'm very much lucky. So please, when you go to buy, look out for a clean looking bright one. So I was asking the other day, what month do you start feeding your baby with pap? So a lot of persons said 6 months. That is great, that is fine, because my first son, that was what I intended doing, to breastfeed him till 6 months, then we can start taking pap and every other food around 6 months. But he stopped at 5 months on his own. So I can remember we were eating and he was struggling to eat with us. That was custard. We were taking custard that very day, and I started to give it to him to see how it goes. And he took it. So that was how he started eating at 5 months. And I started feeding him pap and other food, solid food. In fact, right after then, he started taking solid food almost immediately, almost the same month. And same thing with my second son. The moment I see that they start struggling to eat that thing that I'm eating, the moment I see that they want to eat it by all means, I used to feed them. My second son was 4 months. I intended doing that breastfeeding for till 6 months, but we ended up in 4 months because I was eating and he was struggling by all means, like crying that he really wants to eat. I fed him and he took it. And guess what? My kids are foodies. They are foodies. So you see, I once they start eating, I look at them, I see that this is kind of suffering these kids. They are not getting that breast milk. It is not filling to them, I guess. So my baby now, we started taking pap at 3 months. So that 3 months when we started, this pap I bought, they call it Tom Brown. I don't know how many of us knows about it. They call it Tom Brown. So I wanted to start buying it continuously from the person that supplies it to me. But on a second thought, I said, what is all this paparazzi for? Because they said the Tom Brown comes with so many ingredients inside it. I don't know. That my first time. But I called to myself because, not because of the expensiveness. I just remember that this is something I've always done by myself, and my kids are always healthy, looking good, and okay. So why not continue what I've always been doing on my own? So that's why Tom Brown is okay. the amount of grains and so many things that is being added to it is fine. So if you're sure of the person who is going to be supplying it to you is a clean person, and also just go ahead and buy if you want to. Okay, so in my next video, I'm going to be showing where I sieved it. I don't want this video to be excessively long, so that's why I'm going to stop here. The sieving is the most simplest, but guess what? I know a lot of us see it to be the most difficult. But you see that sieving, that is the most simplest thing to do. In fact, changing this water every day is where I find it more hard. So see you in my next video, okay? Bye.